Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So we're continuing with the summaries of 6th class English, and in this video we shall go through Unit 5 reading A, that is plant a tree. So here we can see so far we have completed till reading 4, and you can see all my videos in the playlist. There is a separate playlist in the Kiran's English YouTube channel. So you can go through the playlist of all the classes from 6th to 10th, and in the 6th class today we are going to go through unit 5. So let us go through reading A first, that is plant a tree, and reading B, if a tree could talk, this will be in another video, and reading C also will be made in another video. And most of the students are commenting me regarding my voice, saying that my voice is a bit low. So guys, please use headset if possible, because even I am recording classes with the headset. So there is no special audio functioning to record these classes. So I'm using very simple things like mobile phone and headset to record these channels to make the education. Also I want to give my I want to reach out to all the students, so I am unable to use very expensive audio recordings. So please understand that, and please use headsets. So everybody might be having headset, right? So I think there will be no issue. If you just listen to the classes without the headset, then that would be a problem, and audio problem will be there. So please use the headset. So here we can see unit 5, the opening picture here. So you can see the title, plant a tree. So looking at the title itself, we can understand that this lesson is going to be about a tree. Okay, so see here, look at the picture and discuss the questions that follow. So look at the picture and discuss the questions that follow. Just look at the picture here first. You can see a very big tree, and a woman and her children might be. So two daughters are holding the tree, saying to the other man who is holding an axe, okay, not to cut the tree. Okay, so that man might be thinking to cut down the tree and do something with that. Okay, to make furniture or use it for firewood, whatever it is. So this woman and the two little kids are trying to save the tree. So they are just giving us the message that we should not cut trees. Okay, yeah, shall move forward. We have some questions here. The first question is, what do you see in the picture? So you can see a woman, two children, and another guy who is trying to cut the tree. So the guy must be her husband. Okay, we do not know. Next, what do you like or dislike in it? So do you like to cut the trees, or do you dislike to cut the trees? So you can give your opinion there, or you can just at least think about your opinion. Next, what would happen if all the trees were cut down? So just imagine your surroundings, imagine your district, imagine your state, and imagine your country, and imagine the world without the trees. So what would happen if there are no trees? Okay, so we know that all the human will die if there are no trees, because trees give us the oxygen, right? Next, how are trees helpful to everyone living on earth? So trees are usually helpful in many ways. So the important major ways are giving oxygen, okay, and taking carbon dioxide into it. So because of trees, our environment is just like getting filtered. Okay, so trees filter these toxic carbon dioxide and leave the fresh oxygen for the human. That is a major and important thing. And there are many other uses. We use the trees for furniture, firewood. Okay, so many things. Yeah, next, oral discourse. So in the oral discourse, there is a role play. So enact the scene depicted in the picture. So the same scene that is shown in the picture must be enacted in the classroom. So that is for the school children. So aspirants, you just go through all the important elements like vocabulary, antonyms, synonyms. Those who are school children who are listening to this video, you must go through each and every little discourse that is given. Okay, so here the characters are there. So woodcutter, women and children. So this guy is woodcutter, so one should act as woodcutter. There is a woman and two children. So you should enact. So you can just divide yourselves into 3 4 characters here. like two children, one lady and a guy who is cutting a tree, and you can enact that. Next, here we go, we have reading A here on the screen. Yeah, let me zoom in a bit. Yes, yeah. Trees are the most useful things in the world. Of course, we know trees are the most useful, most helpful things in the world for every human being, right? Next, children play under them, travelers rest in their cool shade. So nowadays children are actually not playing under them, but if you go a few years back, most of the children, the only playground for them is a tree. Okay, they play on the tree, under the tree, everywhere. Okay, they play on the branches of the tree, they play under the shade of the tree. So it was like that in those days, but now the playstations, video games, everything that has become their playground. No problem. Next, travelers rest in their cool shade. Okay, we know that those who travel from one place to another, they prefer to rest under the trees, okay, rather than to rest under different some rock stations like that. So trees give us fruits to eat and firewood to burn. Okay, so all the fruits that we get from that we get are from trees only. And trees also give firewood. What do you mean by firewood? Firewood is the wood that we use to make the fire. Okay, we build houses and make furniture with the wood of the trees. Okay, so in the villages you can see there are huts. Okay, in the hut, there are, of course, for most of the city children, they do not know what is hut. So that is a like a house which is made up of leaves, okay, branches of the trees. They make everything with the trees itself. Okay, so in the cities we can see all the concrete buildings, okay, glass buildings and all. So in the olden days, villagers, they used to live in the uh, houses which are built completely with the branches and leaves of the trees. Even nowadays there are many people who are still living in that. And if you go to if you just look at the lifestyle in USA, America, then there they don't have concrete buildings very much. Okay, so 75 to 80% of the Americans live in the houses which are built by wood itself. Okay, next, we need trees for our lives. Of course, everyone, you, me, those are listening to this video, okay, everyone who are living this world, we everyone, each and everyone need trees to live. If there were no trees, there would be no life on earth. Okay, this is very important. If there were no trees on earth, there would have been no life on earth. Okay, see, according to science, the thing we know is a human has evolved, we human beings have evolved from a small things, okay, like a small thing which were used to live in the water and all. So if there was no oxygen in the water, there would have been no life. If there was no oxygen outside from the trees, there would have been no oxygen in the water, and there would have been no life. So everything is completely related to the trees itself. We human beings, we can say that if there are no trees, there would have been no human life on this earth. Okay, next, living things in the sense people and animals breathe in air. Okay, even plants breathe in air, but that air is carbon dioxide. We humans and animals, like dogs, cows and everything, and wild animals, everything, they breathe in this oxygen. Okay, next, they breathe in oxygen from the air and breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, so you guys all know that every human being needs oxygen to survive. So we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. And where does that carbon dioxide go? That carbon dioxide is again is taken by the trees. Okay, next, if all the oxygen in the air was used up, leaving only carbon dioxide, what would happen to all of us? So imagine if all the oxygen in the air was used, okay, if all the oxygen is used by all the human beings, and the carbon dioxide which we leave is just, if that is only in the climate, Okay, so usually trees take the carbon dioxide, right? So if trees don't take carbon dioxide, if they only just give the oxygen, and if the oxygen is over, and if the carbon dioxide levels are increasing in the climate, what would have happened? That would have been a very dangerous thing, because even the oxygen gets contaminated with the carbon dioxide, and again we humans might have to breathe the very polluted and toxic air. Everyone would die. So with the toxic air, everyone would die. But trees help us to live. Okay, so they breathe in the carbon dioxide from the air and let oxygen out into the air. Okay, so here trees are helping very much for us. So they are taking inside the toxic carbon dioxide and giving us the fresh and healthy oxygen, so that we human are living. With the help of the sunlight, they break up carbon dioxide into carbon and oxygen. So they use the carbon to make starch and let the oxygen out into the air. So when trees take carbon dioxide inside, so with the help of the sunlight, that carbon dioxide is broken into carbon and oxygen. Okay, so the oxygen which is produced from the carbon dioxide is left again out into the climate, and that oxygen is taken by human. And whatever the carbon that is left, okay, so that breaks into carbon into oxygen, right? This oxygen is again left and we take it. The carbon that is left inside the tree is turned into starch. Okay, the starch is used by the trees to produce the fruits, food and all. Okay, so in all the ways, okay, either with the oxygen or with the carbon, with the starch, trees are helping in the both ways. Okay, so we can see the picture here. See, there is a tree, there is a guy here. So the meaning of this picture is, see, here tree leaves the oxygen. Okay, oxygen is taken or respirated by the human being. Okay, and human leaves the carbon dioxide outside, and carbon dioxide is taken by the tree. And here this process happens. This is called as photosynthesis. The process of breaking carbon dioxide into carbon and oxygen is called photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the cycle, this is the circle that happens regularly. If this cycle breaks, then the human will die. Okay, next, trees make all the starch in the world. Starch is the most important part of our food. Without trees, we will not have any starch to eat. Okay, the starch in Telugu we call it as pindi padardam. Pindi padardam in the sense not this wheat, flour and all. Okay, whatever the food that we get from the trees is called as a starch. Okay, so actually if we get apple, we call it apple, but that is the basic construction from the starch itself. Okay, so the carbon that is taken from the carbon dioxide is formed into the starch, and with the starch we get all the food, grains, leaves, fruits and all. Okay, so that starch is our food. Okay, whatever the food that we are using, that is a starch. Okay, then without trees we will not have any starch to eat. Yes, that is true. Next, trees help us to get rain. Okay, so the another important thing is, trees also are helping us to get in. They are not only giving us the food, they are not only taking the toxic carbon dioxide inside them, and they are not only giving the oxygen. What else they are doing? They are also helping us to get rain. Okay, so the leaves of the trees breathe out lot of water vapor into the air. This makes the air cool. Okay, what are the trees doing? The trees are breathing out the lot of water vapor. Okay, water vapor like small drops of water. Okay, so that lot of water vapor forms a type of cool breathing, or cool atmosphere into the air, and that cool air helps rainfall. So rain gives us water. No one can live without water, and we need trees to get water. Okay, we need trees to get oxygen, we need trees to get the food, and we need trees to get the water. If there are no trees, no food, no oxygen and no water, and the result is human will die. Okay, so trees are that much important, guys. Trees have many more uses. The rubber tree grows in many parts of the world. From the sap of this tree we get rubber. Okay, So from the rubber tree, okay, even the rubber, the thing which is like plastic, okay, even to get the rubber also we need trees. So that is specially made from the rubber tree. The rubber is very useful thing. Some trees like eucalyptus give us medicines. Okay, other than the rubber we also get medicine, so many medicines from the plants. Okay, we know that there is treatment, medical treatment like ayurveda. Okay, so in ayurvedic treatment you will not come across any type of chemical things, no chemical medicines. Okay, all the medicines will be taken from the plants, nuts, roots of the trees itself. So in South America there is a tree called the cow tree. Okay, in South America there is a tree name. What is the tree name? Cow tree. See, you will be getting, students will be getting this question in the objective questions. Just to go through it. People drink the sap of this tree instead of milk. It is less expensive than milk. See, usually we drink milk from the cows, buffaloes and all, right? But in South America there is a tree, that is the name of the tree is cow tree, and that cow tree gives milk to the human. So instead of using cow's milk, buffalo's milk, goat milk, they use the milk of the tree. See how different it is. Next, how long can a big tree live? Okay, did you ever ask this question to yourself? So just imagine, how long can a big tree live? Nobody knows actually. So some trees have already lived for more than 1,000 years. It just okay, this might be a coincidence. Just today itself I had seen a picture where that is, the trunk of the tree is just in the size of like almost a big hall. Okay, just like 10 to 15 feet of the distance is covered by the trunk of the tree. Okay, so that tree is said to be like 2000 years ago. Okay, so see, that is very old tree. Okay, so it is very useful for me to share to you, so that you guys can look to it. So nobody knows the age of tree usually. So some trees have already lived for more than 1,000 years, just like the tree that I had seen in a picture today. I had seen it somewhere in a paper or in some social media. I had seen it. There are many children standing in front of it and they have taken picture. Okay, and that tree is still healthy, so they can live for more than 6,000 years more. See, trees can live more than 6,000 years. So we human, see, our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents and their parents and their grandparents, our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, their children, their grandchildren, even these many generations, okay, everyone is taking help from the tree itself, because that tree is going to live for how many years? 6,000 years. See how many generations will be helpful. Our own generations, our parents, our grandparents, our children, their children. See how many generations will be using that help of that single tree. Seriously, it is very huge thing. So this is the most important help. This very valuable, this very important thing that we have to learn, that trees are very helpful. Okay, so thousands of years, at least in 1,000 years we see 10 to 15 generations, more than that. So it is 6,000 years. So how many generations of our family will be living? Just imagine. So some of them will live as long as 10 years. So there is a tree called General Sherman in California in America. It is a huge evergreen tree. It is said to be several thousand years old. Okay, so there is a tree, that tree name is General Sherman in California in USA in America. So that is the huge evergreen tree, and it is said to be several thousand years old. Okay, even the scientists are unable to find the age of the tree. Okay, they are just imagining it is just thousands years old. Next, how do we know the age of tree? So if we want to calculate the age of tree, how do we calculate it? Do trees have birthdays? Do trees have? Yes, they do. Okay, they have birthdays. They even get gifts on their birthdays. Okay, how do they get gifts on their birthdays? They get rings. What type of rings? Diamond? No, not that type of ring. See, at the bottom or in the trunk of the tree there are circles. So if anybody has seen a cut down tree, so if you just look carefully at the place where they have cut, you can see circles like this. Okay, so each circle, okay, gives us the calculation of 1 year. So one circle 1 year, second circle second 2 years, third circle 3 years. So with the circles of that bottom of the tree, we can calculate the age of that tree. Okay, so every year a tree grows a little bigger. As it grows, the trunk gets another layer of wood and it gets another ring. So these rings are nothing but every year tree grows its the layer of that wood. Okay, so that wood gets hard and that becomes just like a ring. So every year it gets one ring, one ring like that. Okay, next. So you cannot see the rings because they are inside the tree. Don't ever try to calculate the rings of the tree, because we have to cut the tree to count that rings. Okay, we no need to count rings. We can just imagine that this tree has this much these many years. So there will be few people, I want to know the age of this tree and I want to cut it down. So unless you cut it down, you cannot count the age of the tree. So you need not to cut it down, you can just have the experience of the trees. Okay, but if you look at the trunk of a cut down tree carefully, you will find the rings. So one ring indicates 1 year. So each ring indicates 1 year. Some trees can live for 5 to 10 years. Okay, some trees have very long life, but some can live for thousands and even thousands of years, like General Sherman. So previously we had come across this term. General Sherman is the tree name, okay, in USA. So those trees, those type of trees can live hundreds and thousands of years. Okay, so man cuts down hundreds of trees every year to build houses, to make furniture, to cook food, and to make paper. If this continues, one day there will be no more trees in the world. What will happen then? We all will die. So this is the result if we do all these things. If we only use the trees for food, if we cut it down for firewood, if we use it to make the paper, okay, if we use it to make the furniture, what happens? The trees number goes on decreasing, and finally one day our future generations will suffer because of the deeds that we do today. In the future there might be no trees, and if there are no trees, we all will die. Next, so what shall we do? Okay, so what we have to do? So we should avoid cutting trees as far as possible. So first thing that we have to do is we have to avoid cutting trees. Okay, next, meanwhile, second thing, we must plant a lot of trees. Okay, first thing is we should avoid cutting trees. Second thing is we have to plant lot of trees. Many central and state government of India are taking many measures to plant trees. Okay, in Telangana you can say like Haritaharam, like it happens once in a year. Hundreds, thousands and lakhs of trees are planted on that day. Of course throughout the year it is planted, but especially in that period, all the people come together. Okay, they plant a number of trees. Okay, so there has been a number of increasing in the hectares of land that is being deforested. So students are the future generations, pillars of the future generation. So you guys have to come forward, to make some few innovative ways to plant more trees. Okay, so every one of us should plant at least one tree a year. See, just imagine if you plant one tree a year, at least one tree. Okay, so by the time you die, for example, if you live for 60 years, if you live 100 years, that is very good. But the maximum age of the living nowadays is like 55 to 60 years. So if you at least live 50 to 60 years, there will be, at the time of your death, there will be 50 to 60 trees. Okay, and just imagine how many fruits, how many birds will be taking shelter on that, how many trees you will be getting, how much of oxygen you will be getting, how much of carbon dioxide will be taken from that climate. Okay, just there, so that there are many positive and possible things, only positives. There are no negative things from the trees. Okay, tree just sacrifices itself from the for the human beings. Okay, we all know about it, right? So guys, I would like to suggest you one thing. So see, uh, for example, if there are like 1000 people watching this video, so if you at least plant one single tree every year, okay, one single tree every year, then it would be like 1000 trees per year. Okay, so you can just at least plant it on your birthdays. So you need not to regularly go here and there plant. If you plant a tree a day, then that would be, you know, a very great thing. But if you at least plant one tree a year, and if there are 1000 people at least watching this video, so you guys must plant at least one tree on your birthday at least. Okay, so at the time of your death, just imagine that, okay, this is the margin of your lifespan. So if you are living at least for 60 years, so if your age is at least 20, okay, or if your age is at least, below 10, below 15, like that, so imagine, you are going to live at least up to, the overall age is at least, imagine it is like 40 years. Okay, so we are 1000 into 40. Okay, so it is like we are planting 40,000 plants. Okay, so just imagine. So with the help of Kiran's English Hub, how many plants we are planting? We are planting 40,000 plants per the 1000 subscribers, 1000 viewers. Okay, so guys, we shall at least do this thing with the help of our channel. So that would be very grateful. It would be so much good thing for you, for me, for your family, for our future generations. Okay, next we have some glossary here. Vapor, that is noun, a mass of very small drops of water into the air. Okay, next we have eucalyptus, that means a kind of a tall tree. Okay, so guys, this is it for this video, and we shall meet you in the next video. And the important thing is, please share, subscribe, and like my YouTube channel. And please spread this news to all the students who are in need. Please share this, so all the DSC aspirants, you can share it to your friends, colleagues, those who are preparing for TET and DSC. Be well prepared, and whatever the grammar that is there in this lesson will be made into a different video, in a separate video. Okay, so all this 50 unit grammar part will be separate in a separate video, and that video will be posted into the YouTube, and that will be placed in the playlist of 6th class English grammar. So you can check it out there. So don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and we will get back to you in the next video. And in the next video we shall go through reading 5, that is, if a tree could talk. Okay, so that is going to be of another interesting poem. So until then, guys, take care. All the best.